Unapologetic liberal talk. It's Tarabuster with Tara Devlin.
All right. Hey guys, this is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. Took me a couple of minutes there. Sorry about that. You know how it is. Got to check all the buttons. The buttons weren't working. So, all right. I don't need to go through. People sometimes say to me, I don't need to hear the whole backstory. You know, you can't please everybody. I'm very sorry. I feel like I have to explain. So, anyway, I learned that in therapy too. And also in comedy, in stand up comedy, I have to tell you. Because if something happens, you know, you got to address it. You got to address it. Otherwise, well, at least for me, it just hangs over my head. I don't know, whatever. We're hanging out. And I need to, you know, you would explain to your friends, right? Why you're late or things like that. Okay. Thank you guys. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. We meet here every Friday evening. This is our get together. I'm sorry there's a picture of John Fetterman's there because that's something we're going to talk about. I didn't mean to hit you with it right out of the gate. So yes, we meet here on Friday nights. This is the OG Tarabuster show, the original. Actually, it started. Jim will remember back when we were on Saturday nights, right? So, thank you for being here that long, Jim. Thank you so much. And Jim will be keeping us safe in the chat room, along with Susie. And I'm not sure if Mark is here, but then we have some other mods helping Jim out. So, which is good because sometimes starting the show is like ringing a maggot dinner bell sometimes, but we don't suffer them pretty, what do you say? What's the saying? You don't suffer, well, that's it, right? Don't suffer fools. I don't mind them hanging out. I wish they would, really, because maybe they'd learn something. But I don't accept their bad behavior. There's plenty of places for them to go and pass gas, so to speak, because that's what they do. It's like the equivalent of going into a nice little conversation and just, I guess, letting it rip with some ass wind. Because that's MAGA. That's what it is. It's the internet equivalent. And they have nothing to say. And it goes to they're fucking brain dead, okay? Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, keeping the show going and growing with your, speaking of OG Tarabuster, Charlie's been there from the beginning. And thank you, Charlie, for your support of the show and your support of the community cats that we take care of in our spare time. So thank you for that, and it matters. So go over to APS Radio News or APS Radio. Download the little app for your. Just goes right on your computer. It is part of the Apple family, and you have classic rock and oldies all day long. And Charlie's just providing that service. It's not. It's not like he's getting rich or anything, but it's something that he enjoys, so he feels like sharing it with other people. So I appreciate that. I can relate to that. That's why we're here. And hello, Andrea. Andrea's over on Twitch, keeping us safe from the maggots over there who the hell knows where they are. They're everywhere, unfortunately. All right, let's thank you, Andrea, and thank you. I think Hal rated us already. Oh my God, welcome sparklers, welcome normal people from all over the internet machines, the series of tubes. Thank you for finding your way here. So, okay, let's get going. Let's go to work. I have a lot to talk about, and I was on the Anti-Fascist Book Club earlier. I've been my ass hurts already, okay? I'm just keeping it real. I've been sitting in this chair all day consuming the news, and we have a lot of shit to talk about, and I'm really kind of sick of you know what really strikes me? Here's where I guess we could start, because it is so upsetting that that anyone supports what's going on. Now, Traitor Trump has wrecked our good name all over the globe. Didn't take him long, and unfortunately, once again, I'm proven right, right? I wish I was wrong, but there I go, proven right. It sucks to be right, literally and figuratively, because and I mean that everything Republicans touch, they destroy. It's not just Trump. Okay? So it makes sense that eventually the Republican Party, which used to be the Republican Party, now they're the Republican Party because there's no going back. There's no redeeming qualities to them. They're not a legitimate political party. They're not sincere partners in governance. They're not trying to make they're not trying to make America great or make the trains run on time or anything. They're not trying to serve their constituents. They're just trying to make the rich richer. And if that means getting rid of pesky democracy once and for all, that's what they're doing. Because these are very weak people, and they really are the domestic enemies the founders warned us about. So it made sense, but this hasn't. It didn't start with Trump, okay? It didn't. It goes back for generations, for as long as I have been politically aware. The Republican. Well, they've been. When did they turn Republican? I would guess with Trump. That's probably the nail in the coffin. But they were getting there, because we're talking about George W. Bush and trickle down, Reagan trickle down, all of that shit. When they started with the trickle down bullshit, and with Reagan, because the whole Reagan project was to it was to set us up for oligarchy and destroy pesky democracy once and for all. Because that's conservatism in a nutshell. It's it's an ideology of hierarchy. So, as I was going to say, hierarchy. I was going to make up a whole new word, hierarchy. Yeah. And it's true, because the people who are attracted to it, they are attracted to it because to them it makes sense of the scary, complex world. To them, the world is filled with people who want to kill them. Not that doesn't exist, of course, but their large amygdalas make them very fear-centered, and there's need for every one of us. So, that's why Mother Nature made us interdependent and interconnected, because alone we can survive, together we thrive, as I always say. We don't have the same skills. Some people we all have different skills. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and we balance each other out and help each other. So, ideally, in this situation, what we're dealing with is that they are the antagonists to progress, to the grand experiment in liberal democracy, which is supposed to be, why all of our forebearers, our ancestors fought, bled, and died to make our lives better, right? We all hope that the future generations will have it a little easier than we do, but not now, not anymore, not in this Republican iteration. So it started with Reagan dragging us, into this bullshit voodoo economics, as George H.W. Bush called it before he became Reagan's running mate. Even the Republicans called it out initially. It's voodoo economics. It's nothing. It's bullshit. What you're selling is bullshit. There is nothing. There's no such thing as supply side economics. The whole thing was a scam from the beginning, set up to make the rich richer. That's the scam right there. Pull the wool over your eyes, over the eyes of the working class. And while you're doing that, while you're robbing them, the greatest transfer of wealth from the working class to the rich in the history of humanity. We have a wider income gap than they had in ancient Rome. I don't know why the Democrats don't pound that home constantly to highlight it's just how dire this situation is. But the whole Republican project has been a scam since Reagan. And that's what makes me fucking nuts about the Democrats too when we're talking about them. I remember Obama. I had such high hopes for him. Honestly, he was probably the best Republican president we've had since Eisenhower. Hold on, I'm lowering this. This is Tara Devlin. That's the music cue for the Progressive Voices app. Okay. But Obama, I always remember what used to drive me fucking up a wall when he was, because I had such high hopes for him. I was hoping he would be our new FDR. And in fact, when he was elected, I was one of the people crying. And I'm sure the Republicans were like, oh, look, not just about me. We know that they play clips of people on the night of Obama's election crying, watching the speech, crying because they say, oh, look, it's a cult. They're crying over their they were Obama bots. No, we were crying because America did something that we didn't imagine that she could do. She took a leap forward and actually hired somebody, made somebody president that had darker pigment in this racist ass country. And maybe there was hope for us. If we could do that, maybe there was hope. But here we go with the backlash. That's what happens, right? Donald Trump is the backlash to that. But the worse, it's because Obama, he was, a pretty good Republican president. And when he got elected, I sent him a book. Not that he gives a shit, right? I sent him a book, not FDR's book. It was a book written about FDR called Traitor to His Class. And the author is escaping me now. I'll look it up. But, I think FDR is our greatest modern president. But unlike FDR, yes, FDR was a traitor to his class. By the end of Obama's second term, I realized that, unfortunately, so was Obama. He was like FDR. He was a traitor to his class. Unfortunately, it was the middle class that was, that was his class. And yeah, okay. I would vote for him again in a heartbeat. But he was one of these Democrats that liked to quote Reagan all the time, because he was one of these Democrats that made me want to bang my head against the wall constantly, because he was always trying to appeal to the right-wingers, trying to, as he said one time, the fever would break eventually in regard to the Republicans, because the night of his inauguration, they all got together in the caucus room to plot against Obama. And they came up with their plan was the conspiracy to commit legislative constipation. And it became known as the caucus room conspiracy. And they vowed on that night, and who was there? There were Newt Gingrich, a lot of them. Newt Gingrich was there. Frank Luntz was there, Paul Ryan, the leadership of the Republicans at the time, and they vowed to stop Obama from doing anything to help the American people, passing any legislation, and that included even Republican legislation. So it wasn't like and this is how we know the Republicans are evil, because it wasn't the situation that Democrats handed Traitor Trump. That's what happens. The cycle is constant and it's demonstrable, where Republicans get a hold of the mechanisms of power, they destroy they destroy the economy because they're in a smash and grab. And then the Democrats get elected, they clean it up, and round and round we go. So Obama, when Obama took office, we were in the near second great Republican Great Depression. I guess it was the Republican Great Depression at the time. They weren't quite Republicans yet. I guess they could be. We can have a talk about that one day. But yeah, so it wasn't that, so committing legislative constipation at that time was guaranteed to cause more harm to the American people. And that's what the Republicans were happy with. Cause more harm to the American people for political gain. They don't give a shit about this country. You understand? They're not in government for altruism. I wish I was wrong. And this situation we're in now, I don't know what's it going to take, for the people to wake up. Because one of the things I've been telling you for a long time is that, I'm still on Twitter, right? I go there to grab videos and stuff. There's a lot of times if I'm looking for a video, it's on Twitter. I don't know if maybe I don't need an account to do that anymore. I don't know. It's just a cesspool whenever you go there. And it's filled with Russian bots and maggots. And you don't know which is which if you're talking to a real person or not. A lot of times I go there and I won't look at the timeline. I'll try to focus right on like the search bar so I get what I have come for, because I'll end up like fucking fighting with these bots all day because it drives me crazy. Because I'm of the belief that you don't leave a pile of shit to stink up the room. There has to be some response. And okay, but they're on Twitter, of course they're praising the dear leader. Traitor Trump is working as much as he can work. I mean, he's never worked a day in his life, of course. He's a con man. But he's working to convince everyone how popular the war is. Now, we better believe that he's got no plan. This is a Manbaby without a plan, baby. And every day it gets worse. He had the Japanese prime minister in the office. I don't know if you saw that today. Let's see if I can pull that up. And it was fucking embarrassing, okay? He's an embarrassing dirtbag. Let me see. And not just, okay, because maybe you saw it on, because they were playing it, the clip, how he's, they asked, well, let me play the clip. Hold on, I just got to get the...
Of course, Japan and US are very good friends, but one question, why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia like Japan about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing you don't want to signal too much. When we go in, we went in very hard. And we didn't tell
It's
anybody
strong.
about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay?
Me? You?
Right?
Because you weren't fucking born, for one thing.
No, you
Aren't you funny? Well, the reason I brought up Twitter is because when you go over there and you see this, and the rest of the world is appalled, because we're just sick of him. We're sick of his fucking antics. Is this the art of the deal or the art of the cringe? Because that's what it is. It's the art of the embarrass America. It's the art of make the entire world of decent people hate you and America's enemies as happy as kids on Christmas morning. Hold on a second. And he, according to Traitor Trump, you see, this is he just gets validated all the time. He's surrounded by sycophants. He's surrounded by people who might as well be the walking, breathing equivalent of a Russian bot. I bet you some of them are, for fuck's sake, because we got Russian spies all over this bitch now, all over the White House. That's why they're getting targeted information and targeting our troops. Oh yeah, Russia's helping Iran a little bit. Traitor Trump said, that's okay, right? Just a little bit. Just a little wounding and killing. Doesn't matter, because they're suckers and losers anyway. These are suckers and losers that you play war with. So, and we don't need our allies, right? This is what Traitor Trump said. Well, first, he's very disappointed in NATO, but he doesn't need them anyway. I didn't want those grapes anyway. It's a joke. He's a fucking joke. So when the Japanese reporter asked, why didn't you tell your allies? Well, a surprise. So you don't trust your allies to be able to keep a secret? But you trust Putin, who's targeting our troops, who's helping the Iranians kill our troops. You trust him. You're going to take his word for it. He has his sycophants all over right-wing media saying, oh, we trust Putin. Oh, yeah, we do. We're going to take Putin at his word, right? But we're not going to take the word of our allies. But you want them to commit their troops and their money. And again, fundamentally not understanding, not that it matters. He's a fucking baboon who thinks, the sun and rises and falls on his command. But he doesn't understand that NATO is not your pals that you get to call. It's not like your muscle in the mob. You don't commit a war crime illegally and unconstitutionally start a war without public support and then call on your pals to come help you clean up the mess you made without consulting them. NATO is a defensive alliance, you dumb baboon. Oh, I'm very disappointed in NATO. I'm very disappointed because, no, I'm not disappointed. It's completely expected, you stupid asshole. That's like the Straits of Hormuz was shut down. But I guess you didn't expect it, or maybe you wanted it. You want America to be on her knees. You want the American people crippled, clearly. Look at their actions. If you look at all of their actions through the lens of the fact that he's a Putin puppet, it makes sense. I don't want to say he couldn't harm America more if he tried, because I don't want to give him a challenge. But he's done more harm to this country than our enemies could ever hope to muster. They didn't have to fire a shot. All they had to do was tickle this fucking asshole's greed-centered pit. Stroke his stupid ego. That's so easily manipulated. And Hillary Clinton was right. Oh, yeah. Oh, no puppet here. No puppet. No, really? Come on. I know you are, but what am I? No puppet. Oh, as she said, we don't want someone who could be baited by a tweet in charge of the nuclear codes. But he proved her right there as well. Well, someone took a close-up or shot the Japanese Prime Minister in close-up. Let's see, where is it? As the baboon is speaking.
Who knows better about surprise than Japan?
Look at her face. Look at her face.
Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
You see her? Look at that face. That says everything. Like, can you believe this baboon? That's what she's saying. She's signaling to her, I don't know who's off screen there, either the reporter or another one of her aides. Look at her face. She's biting her tongue.
Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
Look at that face. What does that say? She's got more restraint than, of course, the baboon could ever muster, because he's a little baby, a little man baby, easily manipulated.
Harbor, okay?
Is that funny? That's funny, right? World War II was funny to these people because, well, 85 million human beings in their cold, early graves. That's a real fucking yuck.
Right?
That's why NATO, well, he doesn't know that, how NATO was put together because of the lessons of the 20th century that we hoped that we'd learned. And we, as the United States, we had some standards. We were the leader of the free world. Unlike now we're the pariah. 78% of Earth now have a negative view of the United States. Thanks to the tax cheating, draft dodging, wannabe dictator, con man, pedo all over the Epstein files, who just started a war of choice as a weapon of mass distraction.
He's asking me.
Hey, who's asking me? Yeah, I just tell it like it is. You know me. I'm a political genius. See, he thinks. I really do believe he believes his own hype. All of the assholes that sit around the table licking his balls. He believes this. He believes that he's omnipotent and knows everything. He feels it in his bones. He really does believe his own press. He's John Barron. Remember, he called up the reporters in New York, planting stories about himself, about how Madonna wanted to date him. And this is such a little person, a small, fragile waste of humanity. There is no redeeming qualities, yet millions of Americans voted for it. So more pain coming, and I guess we deserve it. We deserve the scorn, really. We deserve it. How can you trust us? How can the world trust us ever again? And we'll be lucky if we have any allies besides who? The North Korean. This is what we were talking about earlier. I wonder how the American people will feel when our only allies are, I guess, Saudi Arabia and Qatar and North Korea and Russia, that actually hates us, that uses us. We're Russia's bitch now. Right? Forget mom and apple pie. Forget, the UK, France, Germany, Canada. Forget those democratic allies. Norway. I mean, he loves Norway because everybody's so white there. But this is who he wants us to be pals with. The worst, most disgusting regimes on earth, that repress and oppress their people. No, he gives a shit about protesters being harmed in Iran, but not here. Here you could shoot them in the back of the head. They could say, hey, I don't hate you. I'm not angry with you. And you shoot them in the back of the head and call them a fucking bitch. Okay, well, let's continue.
Now, you believe in surprise, I think, much
Look at that face. She's just like biting her tongue.
more so than
It's an embarrassment.
us. And
Right?
we had to surprise him, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out.
She's like, help me, save me.
The first 2 days, we probably.
Can you believe this effing baboon? Now, what do you think they said behind closed doors when she got out of this carcass's presence. And you know he smells too. Okay, she's sitting there. She's got to hold her nose, hold her tongue.
We knocked out 50% of what we, and much more than
She's just barely tolerating this thing.
we anticipated doing, and much more than we anticipated doing. So if I go and tell everybody about it, there's no longer a surprise.
Shut the f up, Donnie.
I put that in there. Ugh. I mean, I'm cringing. It's such an embarrassment. It's such a disgrace to America. It's like a slap in the face. It's a spit on the grave of everyone that ever died for this country. And maggots love it. They when I was on Twitter looking at this, they were like, "Oh, well, what is he saying? Why don't libs are so upset? Why is he so upset? He's just calling it like it is. He's just saying the truth." It's just, it's not very diplomatic, you stupid dirtbags. And Japan's our allies. There's blame. Yes, okay, they attacked us. They had a militaristic fascist type government, which when you look at the treaty of that Japan signed at the end of World War II, we had an enlightened sense of reconstruction. We were the ones, we said, we will rebuild Japan. Japan will not be a militaristic government again. One of the things that they had to do is they had to the emperor had to come out and say that he was not he's not infallible. He's not a god. He's not all powerful. They were, and it wasn't to humiliate him. It was to get the people out of their cult mentality. And, we worked hard on our reconstructing Japan after we dropped 2 nuclear bombs on them, atomic bombs on Japan. And one of the things we helped rebuild, we made Japan an economic power because they put their ingenuity into building their economy and not becoming rearming themselves militaristically. And we wrote their constitution for them, with them, I suppose. And one of the things, they have universal health. We're always so magnanimous when it comes to writing constitutions for other countries. Now, they get universal health. It was like the constitution we helped write in Iraq, that guarantees health care. We don't have that here because we're stupid and very closed off. But one of the things, this is, I suppose, what Pete Hegseth talks about when he says, "Oh, no more stupid woke wars where we're making the world safe for democracy." Well, that's what we did at the end of World War II, and we kept the world alliance, the greatest military alliance of NATO, together for 75 years until the baboon, pretty much. So after learning hard lessons where 85 million human beings went to their cold early graves because of a person that Traitor Trump admires, that did some good things because of fascism. The Japanese government pre-World War II was not the same government that rebuilt Japan. They were a democracy. That's why they're an ally. So, and we did that to secure the peace. And the Marshall Plan reconstruction of Europe wasn't about looting the joint. Yeah, Europe was in ruins, but we could have taken over. We could have. But we rebuilt their countries for them. And now they have stronger democracies than we fucking have. So, but Baboon Traitor Trump doesn't know anything about history. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Because was he born yet? I think he was born 19, I don't know, who fucking cares? It's not long enough ago, because unfortunately, there was a great meme I saw that said, I don't care that he's falling asleep. It's the constant waking up that gets me upset. That actually made me laugh out loud. See, I can laugh. I can still laugh sometimes when I say, does anybody remember laughter? And then I see a meme like that. And I laugh. Right? That's it. That's the constant waking up. And then we hear, we got to hear this one goes or whatever. Not that I give a shit about, what's his name? Who just died? Chuck Norris or something? He's a right-winger. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. They were, the MAGAts on Twitter posting a quote from Chuck Norris saying, I used to be a Democrat, but now I'm a Republican because the Democrats went so far left that the Republicans are now like moderate Democrats. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. The fucking gaslighting and the stupidity. Right? What do I think of the Israeli government? John Doe on the chat says, oh, I think they're fabulous. What the fuck? What do I think? I think it's fucking ridiculous. And yeah. What do I think of the Israeli government? I think it's just wonderful what they're doing, what they've done with the place. What do I think? I think it's fucking bullshit. I think that we got two war criminals getting together, trying to stay out of jail and distract from the fact that they suck, and these old fuckers are leaving they're going to leave Earth sooner rather than later. And we're going to be cleaning up their messes for a long, long time. And nobody better think about naming any road or airport after that. I know there's a airport already named after Traitor Trump I think it's in Florida. You see what they're going to do? All those airports, everything, fuck this shit. There'll be no statues, there'll be no airports, there'll be no roads. Because this is what Republicans do. They have nothing in reality, but it's like what they did with Reagan. After Reagan, before his body was even cold, they tried to make him like FDR. He was their FDR. Even before FDR's body was cold. They were like, what are we going to do? We got to get somebody like FDR. Because, instead of just being a good president that actually does things for the American people and makes the world a better place because of it, they need to grift and put on it's all a performance. So Reagan, what the fuck did Reagan do? He was the antithesis of the New Deal. If the New Deal was a revolution, he was the counter-revolution. Destroying the New Deal, making the rich richer, dragging us back to an oligarchy. Everything that we can, that sucks now, the income disparity, the upward immobility can be traced to his doorstep. But that didn't stop Republicans for forming what was called the Reagan Legacy Project. So they deliberately, this is what they do. You see what I'm saying? We have to do shit like this. But we're too busy trying to actually govern. So we, while we're trying to ensure that people don't die of health care for real, without health care for real, Republicans have all the time in the world to do their performance. So, and get airports and post offices and streets named after their people, because, well, you know, you got to have that bullshit. Then people be like, what? Wait a minute. I guess was he a good president? Yeah, I guess. And then you get Obama quoting Reagan. And stop quoting Reagan, Republicans. I mean, Democrats. See? Sometimes you can't tell the difference. Quote FDR. You want to fucking quote a Democrat. Because Democrats, in all their flaws, for all their flaws, people like democratic policies. They appreciate not living in poverty thanks to their socialist security and Medicare that Republicans are destroying. Okay? Oh, God. It's so hard to be sharing the same air with these people. Let's go to this asshole. Where is he? Not that one. This fucker. Speaking of assholes, Democrats who need to be not Democrats. Here's John Fetterman.
Who do you think leads the Democratic Party today?
Oh, we don't have one. I think the TDS. I think that's the leader right now. You know, right now our party is governed by the TDS, and now it's made it virtually impossible without being punished as a Democrat to agree something's good. Or I agree with the other side.
What's good? You see, this is what I can't stand about what maggots do. And John Fetterman is a maggot. First of all, he's very maggot. Hold on. Here's the music again. Be right back. This is Tara Devlin. Subscribe to the Substack. Okay, yeah. Okay. This is what they do. This is what maggots do. And John Fetterman is a maggot. They just throw shit out. Oh, it's very hard to support the things that I like. What fucking things? Name names. We're supposed to fill in the blanks. Well, people just pick on him because he supports things that Republicans support and he likes. But we never hear what those things are. What are those things? You got any specifics? Oh, the war, the illegal war of choice, the unconstitutional illegal war of choice that Traitor Trump started without public approval or congressional support. Is that it? I mean, what amazing thing. The big ugly bill that kicked millions of Americans off health care, or maybe it was DOGE, that robbed our federal bureaucracy of competent people that we need to have a functioning society. That fired people, that fired veterans, that destroyed a once perfectly good country. Because the rich needed our I don't know, more tax dollars, and more of a free ride off our back. What are you supporting? Because trust me, if the maggots had any policies worth supporting, I would support it too. So please explain it. What's the policies? You see what I'm saying? This is what Trump does. It's what all the Republicans do. It's what he does. You look over here. You look over there. You look over there. It's just Trump derangement syndrome. Well, Trump derangement syndrome is real, I have to tell you. And that's why I need to explain to maggots again and again. When they say TDS, I say, yes, you're right. There is TDS happening here. But like everything else the maggots whine about, it's exactly backwards. Trump derangement syndrome is real, but it is thinking that a tax-cheating, draft-dodging, wannabe dictator, con man, dirtbag, pedo, convicted felon, convicted rapist all over the Epstein files that just started a war of choice because he needed a distraction from the Epstein files, is fit to lead, is fit for the office of the presidency because you saw it on reality television. That's Trump derangement syndrome. Trump derangement syndrome is putting some baboon that is a waste of human skin, a waste of air. You know, I feel bad for every chicken that fucker eats, every cow that fucker eats. Every animal that ever gave its life to support that useless carcass has more value in its little toe than Traitor Trump and his entire spawns, all his lineage, could muster in a zillion lifetimes. So, yeah, that's Trump derangement syndrome. So give me a break, man. At this point, when they say TDS, that's what I throw back at them. Yeah, you better believe there's TDS, but you're suffering from it. Get help. Maggots need help. John Fetterman should go get the help you need, buddy, because this is what he is, a perfect maggot. He's just like them. Not only, it's because another thing I saw all day on Twitter was memes, right-wingers, and Fox News even made a meme of John Fetterman saying, the entire Democratic Party suffers from TDS or something like that. You know, like, oh, congratulations, Fetterman. You're giving the fucking right-wingers aid and comfort. You're giving aid and comfort to the enemy now. These are people who are they are the domestic enemies the founders warned us about. It's not me saying it, right? It's not me saying it. Oh, wait, I'm moving this now. Great. Okay. Hold on a second. It's not just me. We have been downgraded. Wait, hold on. I got to move this out of the way. All my screens. Too many screens. The U.S. has been downgraded now from, so here, where is it? Where is the article? And this keeps happening, though. We're never upgrading, you know, as far as press freedom or democracy index. We're going lower and lower on the ladder. We're going towards the non-democratic countries. We used to be, we were never perfect, that's for sure, and it was concerning, but we're backsliding thanks to Traitor Trump and the Republican Party. I hate to say it. I wish I was wrong. Wait, where the fuck is it? Damn. Hold on, guys. Trying to open it up. Yeah, and Fetterman, you know, shut your mouth. Go get help. We were the ones. Okay, this is what gets me mad, besides everything else. Did he run as a maggot? Right? He's like Kristen Sinema. Another one. I'm so glad she's gone. But he needs to go too. Either go or I don't give a shit. He's got a D after his name. He may as well not. Go away. He needs to be primaried. He needs to be removed. He didn't run as a maggot. He didn't run on the platform of I'm gonna support this effing unfit rapist baboon, convicted felon dirtbag, who had classified documents in his shitter, who called up the Secretary of State of Georgia and said, I need you to find me the votes to win, who sent a mob of traitors and pedos and fellow pedos to trash the Capitol and defecate and urinate in the halls of the Capitol, and wouldn't put up a plaque to the police officers that defended his worthless carcass until a week ago. And they didn't put it in the public place. They violated the law. It took a law to get them to put it up. I mean, the disrespect. Oh, but that's Trump derangement syndrome, right? Saying what Trump is, pointing it out, saying that and the whole world is your mirror, right? Like when it's like a Buddhist thing. It's not, well, and everybody knows it anyway. If you don't like your you don't like what is the saying? If you don't like the reflection in your mirror, don't break the mirror, fix your face, right? Because you and your environment are one and the same. So the environment is a reflection of the people. So if the whole world is holding a mirror up to us and saying, we don't like this, we don't like you anymore, 78% of the globe has a negative view of the United States. Thanks to Traitor Trump. It used to be the exact opposite. But this is what happens when you're an abuser, when you are a bully, when you're a liar, and no one can trust you. When you lie and steal and grift and graft and grab. Oh, but when you're a star, they let you do it, right? John Fetterman, what is it you like? You didn't run on this, right? You didn't run, I'm going to be a maggot to the through and through. And I even when he was pretending to be a Democrat, the Democrats were helping him and supportive of him with his stupid fucking hoodies that he wears, which always irritated me, frankly. And I'm not just saying that because he's a douche. If you're he looks like your layabout sociopathic son who can't get a job, and you call him up from the basement to take out the trash, and he's fucking like pissed off about it. Oh, I was playing Fortnite. Put on a suit when you go to, an inauguration. You don't walk around in flip-flops and a hoodie. You're a grown man. Ridiculous. He looks like a sloppy slop. He looks like he should be in the mental hospital. Go to the mental hospital. I'm not saying, hey, you get the help you need. I encourage it all the time. I go to therapy. I've been in therapy since I'm fucking 15 years old. I had a fucked up childhood. So, that's a whole other story. And I've come a long way, baby, but, I do know that I would never go if I was invited to Congress or, whatever. You don't go there in a hoodie. Have some respect, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Right? But anyway, that's besides the point. It's worse that that he gives aid and comfort to the Republicans and their bullshit and their democracy loathing bullshit. You're cool with Mike Johnson abdicating the role of a Speaker of the House? You're cool with that. You're cool with what? What policies? Give me a policy you support. Don't just give me this overarching, non-sequitur, non-specific statement about, well, when I support things that I support it. Well, don't we all? Doesn't that sound very rational and reasonable? But when you give me the specific about it, oh, you mean you support making women bleed out in parking lots rather than give them the medical care they need just because, some religious fucking fanatic and said some sky spook told them that women are chattel and they should have pain during pregnancy. Some bullshit some 2,000-year-old man wrote down in an ancient book of fables. And now, so come on. Tell me which one. What is it? Oh, you like the fact that he's a con man who is who kidnapped the leader of Venezuela, stole oil and put it in his personal account, in an offshore account. You like that. Where's the fucking money? Where's the oil that he stole? Oh, I thought we were going to have, it was going to be great. You know, we're all getting rich here. Thankfully, I have an electric car. It's a hybrid, thankfully. So, but the baboon, before he attacked Iran, started rolling back all our green energy projects, including tax incentives to buy electric vehicles and whatnot. So is that what you like? Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people, give me a specific John Fetterman or fuck off. And I wonder, I was looking this up. I was wondering if the people who work for him, because I was hearing rumors coming out of the halls of power that the staff of John Fetterman are concerned about him, that he's suffering from depression. I mean, I've had depression. That's why I go to therapy. You know, I work on it, and I get it. But they're saying that the staff is worried about him, that, you know, he is still actively suffering from mental illness. The public reporting, what I have heard and read, it's not verified, I don't think. It says that some anonymous and current, we're talking about current staff sources, have described his erratic behavior. And they have raised mental health concerns. They have leaked to the press about this. So, who knows? Who knows? Let me look this up. Okay. A 2025 New York Times report said former staff were worried. This is 2025, so we don't know. How long ago was that? It wasn't too long ago, if I'm not mistaken here. May 2025. So, almost a year. Saying that there were warning signs, that he was missing doctor's appointments, that he's supposed to follow up his mental health. You know, he was in the mental hospital for a month, am I right? Over a month. He had serious depression, and he committed himself, getting the help he needed. We all supported him in that. Unfortunately, when he comes out, he doesn't support us having the same freedom to go and get mental health care or any other health care for that matter, because he supports this Republican smash and grab. Clearly, he's one of their enablers, and that's very maggot of him. Leave it to maggots. See, you know, it is what it is, right? If it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a fucking duck, man. Let's see. They were saying there's warning signs, including missed doctor's visits and behavior they viewed as increasingly erratic, while another report quoted a former aide describing him having conspiratorial thinking. Well, there you go. Maggots, okay, are we know how cuckoo they are, and at this point, MAGA is a mental disease. It's a mental disease. It's a moral disease. It's a moral sickness. It's a spiritual sickness. Conspiratorial thinking and let's see, megalomania and long rambling monologues. No wonder he fits right in with them. Other coverage said that former aides believed his recovery had regressed, and that is a natural part of recovery. Relapse is part of, you know, it's not, recovery is not, especially mental health recovery, it's not a straight line. So you got to work at it. And said that some staffers felt uneasy around him, especially when his behavior became angry, confrontational. and hard to predict. Yep. Well, go away. How about that? Get the help you need. Go spend time with your family. Saying TDS, like, what are you doing, you fucking idiot? Trump derangement syndrome. To call Democrats, oh, the whole party's run by Trump derangement syndrome, have no specifics. This is the standard maggot media play. This is what they do. Democrats are so obsessed with hating Trump that they can't acknowledge when he does something right. Give me something. Give me something right that he's done. Anybody on the chat, list it. What has he done? What have they done? I can go to every red state, every poorly run red state, everything the baboon has done since he's gotten into office. He's made everything worse. He's dragged us down to the sewer with them, to their level. I mean, let's look. Let me look. Let's get the specifics instead of me just doing what he does and giving non-specific. Let's see. Let me see. Republicans. Let me see. I know I have a few. I take a lot of notes. I'm always working on the show, so I thought I had some notes how Republicans had made everything worse. Oh, well, here's the music. Hold on. I'll be right back. This is Tara Devlin. Become a patron. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Join the YouTube channel. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, members. And thank you, sparklers. I'm a sparkler, too. So I appreciate you guys, your support. Thank you, Andrea, for keeping us safe over on the Twitch. Okay, let's see. Republican-led states. Well, not just the states. Let's see. Let me see. How has Trump... There's so many. I mean, give me every area. Just point to every area, and it's worse, including our standing in the world. Medicine, science, well-being, longevity, life expectancy, infant mortality, maternal health. Everything. Are we safer in the world? No. Everything sucks. Everything is worse. They fucked up our national parks. They raided our federal treasury. Measles is back. We have polio cases in the United States again. It's unbelievable. But completely expected. It's not unbelievable. I wish it was unbelievable. Hold on. But all these red states, or that's why I say that Democrats, if they follow my lead, when they say red state, you add the qualifier poorly run red state. Poorly run red state. You have to. Because it's true. You're not lying. Oh, yeah, that's right. Trump put his face on the park pass. That's right. Get a rope. Thank you for reminding me. What a pig. What a disgrace. He put his fucking face on the Justice Department. On the facade of the Justice Department. Hanging a banner with his filthy face. And that in itself says how much he hates America. And we all have to remember this. And we have to call it out. Because if you love America, you understand that it's not about you. We have no kings in America. And if you love this country, you wouldn't have the nerve to put your filthy face on things. You're not. Who the fuck are you? Queen Elizabeth? Your face don't get on the money, bitch. You're not the state. Right? It's true. He's putting his face on a coin? What? Chris on the chat? Wait a minute. Let me look this up. I know when things happen, I'm like, this can't be real. But then it's true. Of course it's true. I don't doubt it. He wants his face. Well, he wants a. What did he say during the State of the Union? Oh, I want to give myself a Congressional Medal of Honor. Oh, I'm going to look into that. What? Oh, no. No. No, no. Oh, God. Oh, no, please. Why? No. No. Make it stop. Make it go away. Go away, you fucking baboon. That's what you like, John Fetterman? You like this shit? You disgusting fake. You fuck. Oh my. No, wait. Hold on. No. What I'm saying no because. Where is it? Come on. Ugh, fucker. Why did it do that? Jesus Christ. Why is it doing this? Ecam! So annoying. Why does it do this, Ecam? Just trying to show this. U.S. Arts Commission approves gold coin stamped with Donald Trump's face. What? The gold coin comes in addition to Trump's effort to have his face stamped on a dollar coin in violation of federal law. Look at this picture. It's like from... What's that show on Netflix? Where they're the president. And it was it's a knockoff from an English show. What show is that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Thank you, thank you, Redfoot, for your warning. There's too much cursing on the show. It's after 9 o'clock. You don't like the cursing? I'm sorry. Someone's complaining in the chat that there's too much cursing. You see what I'm saying? You can't please everybody. Then I don't know if this show is for you. Really. Complaining there's too much cursing and was going to try to get a wrench and come back tomorrow. Get a wrench. What does that mean? Does that mean they want to be made a mod? And then they can come in and screw with the show? Maybe we should block them altogether. Right? Why we have to have problems, troublemakers? Too much cursing. But then I get people saying there's not enough cursing. Right? Why don't you block them? Can you block them? Get a wrench and come back tomorrow because they don't like the cursing on the show. Oh, it wasn't that much cursing either. Was there? Get a wrench and come back tomorrow. Why don't you, how about fuck off and don't come back ever? Are they still here? Get them out. Get them out. Bart on Discord, I'm on team not enough cursing. See what I'm saying? Like, I get pulled in all directions. You can't please everyone. There's other shows that don't curse. I don't think they curse on Rachel Maddow's show, of course. This is YouTube. I'm in my, living room with my cats in a tree behind me. They want to, what? So I'm going to be stupid enough to make this person a mod. I just make mods. So why would I don't make people mods who I don't know. And I wouldn't just make somebody a mod. See? Thank you, Jim, for your super chat, the swear jar. See? I get people telling me, how come you're not cursing? Fan San on Discord can do it this way. Blankety blank Donald can go blankety blank 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 with a blank. True. I could try that. I don't know. I try not to curse. I really do. But sometimes I'm just in a mood. And if you don't like the cursing, then this may not be the place for you. It happens here. It's so true. Max Roy on the chat said, you can't please everyone, so please yourself. I try. I try to, I do say, oh, I'm cursing too much or whatever, or sometimes I don't like it. But I've never had anyone on the chat say they're going to try to trick me so they can be a mod, and then they could come back and do what? What would they do? They would spoil the show for everybody because they don't like me cursing. Well, why don't you? I don't come to your fucking job and give you a fucking wrench. I'm like, get me a wrench to your job. I'll go tell your bosses that you're not living up to my expectations. Mm-hmm. Chris says, Christina, I'm sorry. I wanted to be a mod when I first started following you, but I don't need to be one. I could still block idiots anyway. Yes. Oh, I thought I'd made you a mod, Christina, at one time. Did you ask me? Anyway, I'm sorry. If you want, there you go. I know who you are. All right, let's get back to work here. Whoever that is, just block them when they come back, if they're here. Or if you're not here, go away. Just go away. Leave me be in my potty mouth. Just leave me alone, right? Like, I got enough to worry about. Oh, cursing. I'm sorry. Like, oh, it's so fucking annoying. Why are you so annoying? Whoever you are. Go away. There's other shows. Does Hal curse? Don't I guess it's so normal and natural to me. I don't even hear it. Not that I don't walk around my daily life like, hey, give me a fucking coffee or whatever. All right, where was I? I lost my train of thought. It's so true. Yes. Kathy on the chat says, cursing is stress relief. Curse all you want. It's the Tarabuster way. It's true. That's probably why I'm cursing a lot tonight, because I have it is stress relief. You could feel it when you do it. So, but it doesn't matter. I don't need to explain. There's a lid for every pot. There's so many shows on YouTube. You like this show? I'm happy you're here. You don't like the cursing? It may not be a good fit for you. So find another show where they don't curse. So, okay. Where was me's? I don't know how you can't curse, how you cannot curse when you read things like this monster is putting his. See, now I'm like I'm stopping myself. How he's putting his ugly visage on a coin. What a disgrace. You know what I mean? Like, it's like he's such a try-hard loser. He is the definition of that. And he wants his face, his name, his little trinkets, his little trophies. And for what? What have you done? Federal law prohibits the depiction of living presidents on U.S. currency. Thursday's coin, however, may sidestep the rule as it is intended as a commemorative item, not for circulation as currency. Still, the Trump administration has advanced other plans to put the filthy fascist face on the $1 coin in addition to commemorative coin. All of this has to stop. We got 3 more years of this, of him honoring himself. It reminds me, at the end of the movie Gladiator, when Maximus says to Commodus, what does he say? The time for honoring yourself will soon come to an end. All right, Junior, go. Come on, lay down. Now I got my cat up my ass here. Stop. Go lay down. He's really getting... All right. If you will sit. See, the thing is, the problem is he gets very bitey. Talk about a rough producer. He starts biting my hand, and I don't like that part. Okay. If you want to lay there, that's one thing, but if you start biting, we're gonna have to put you down. I mean, off my lap, not down. Ugh, not. Let's not think about it. Let's see. Critics denounce both initiatives as unlawful and inappropriate. Of course it is, for a sitting leader. Monarchs and dictators put their faces on coins, not leaders of democracy, said Senator Jeff Merkley. Well, is that something that Fetterman enjoys? Maybe. Hey, point it out. I really love... Could you imagine Obama doing something like this? Of course, Biden would never, but no, none of them. See, the reason I bring up Obama is because during the Obama administration, these Republicans were constantly going on about how, he wants to be a king. He thinks he's the emperor. And here we are, with Republicans proving me right yet again that they don't like democracy, and they're the ones that are happy with a dear leader telling them what to do. Because they don't want they don't want to adult. That's what it's about. It takes a level of maturity to participate in civic life. And they don't like that. They want daddy to put everyone in their place. And as long as they're right at the top, where they can lick daddy's ass, and they'll lick his ass, they'll praise him, just, trickle on them, trickle a little bit of benefits on them, trickle in their mouths, just keep trickling. And everyone beneath them, let them do whatever, right? Just keep everyone down below. Keep everyone in their place and let the ones right beneath Traitor Trump, let them misgender people and rape others and get away with crimes and just let it be, give them full reign to commit their crimes. This is the one hand washes another. It's a crime family. The whole administration is a grift. That's why when he sent out that ad the fundraising ad. Oh, be part of my, where is that? Secret briefing. You know, they had a picture of him with his stolen valor salute over the coffin, the flag draped coffin of someone that he got killed, one of the suckers and losers. He got killed in his illegal war. And he's fundraising off of this because it's all a grift. It's not about honor or making the world safe. Nothing. It's not about that at all. The whole thing from soup to nuts is a con. It's the same thing as the Trump Network vitamin scam. It's the Trump University. It's just another iteration of that. And because I gotta ask, what the fuck is he fundraising for? He can't run again, right? What is he fundraising for? It doesn't say on the ads that he's sending out. Are you fundraising for a library? Are you fundraising? You can't fundraise. It's not campaign because there won't be another campaign, right? Right, you filthy baboon? All right, there he goes. One bite too many. Sit down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Sometimes I put the AC on. He gets, go. The producer. It's the producer. So, yeah, I mean, what are you fundraising for? So, okay. What time is it? Hold on a second. Thank you for hanging. Oh my God. We're almost at the end of the political voices. I mean, the progressive voices part of the show. Can you believe it? Do I hear the music? I don't know. I have a couple of other stories. Let me see. So I don't really want to begin it before, because we're going to lose the political voice. The fucking names. I'm sorry. Progressive voices part of the show. Because this show is played on the Progressive Voices app on Sundays. And that's good. All right. How's everybody doing with the cursing? Are we doing good? Yeah. It's so... I just wonder. When is not only the great getting up morning, but what about the day of accountability? And when I had Ellie Leonard on the show on Thursday, she has hope that there will be a day of accountability. Well, not day. It has to be more than a day. Oh, Andrea. Wait a minute. I see you in the chat there. I gotta make you a mod. There's the music. I thought I already made you a mod in here. That's why I'm a little surprised. All right. Guys, thank you. That's the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show, but there's more show over at youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. And there's a little salty language in there, so be careful. If you don't like that, don't come over. But we will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together, we win. Thank you for hanging out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Become a patron. Thank you, Charlie of APS Radio and APS Radio News. We stick together, we win. Thank you, Sparklers. Thank you, Hal. Speaking of stick together, we win. Hal is a very great supporter of the show. So I thank you guys for that. And thank you for coming over, because I think it's amazing. Thank you so much. Sparklers for supporting this show, too. And you know what? I always remember what Hal said, because when I was plugging the show, and he said, and I said something like, oh, I don't want to be annoying about it. And he said, you know what's annoying? That there aren't, that somebody like you, like, you know, with my show, isn't getting the, you know, as much views or whatever, or the support. And so he's like, that's what really annoys me. And he, you know, putting that in perspective, I was like, yeah, that's why I got to get better at promotion. So I see the point. Thank you. Okay, thank you, JD Christie, for your super chat. Extra salty bonus. And I have to say, there's something wrong with my super chat list on YouTube. It's telling me that I have an error page whenever I go to look. So if you super chatted and I didn't see it happen, I might miss it. Let me see if I can reload the page. And because I hate missing the super chats, because, you know, shouting them out is part of the whole experience of super chat. Yeah. Oh shit, I know why. I know why. Something is wrong. All right, Junior, stop this. See this? Now he's fucking biting my headphones. Go away. Be a good boy. Why you gotta be like that? What's in the air tonight? Is it a full moon or something? That was the first time that's anyone ever complained about me cursing in the chat, right? Well, at least to my face. So, who knows? You can't please everybody. Okay, I fixed it. Oh, thank you. Okay, so thank you, Jim, for your super chats, for the swear jar. Thank you, Carol, for your super chat. I love your little emoji. Keep it up. That's very cute. Thank you, Kathy, for your super chats. Cursing is stress relief. Curse all you want. It's the Tarabuster way. Thank you, JD Christie, for your extra salty bonus super chat. And thank you, Pam, for your super chat and your little emoji that says, I'll be back. Thank you. I'm so glad you found us. All right, here's some. What do I want? Okay, well, let me see. Where do we want to go? We have a couple of stories to do. We have half an hour. So I'll try to keep it to 15 minutes each. I'm trying to get better at keeping it tight. So, all right, let's do the annoying one first, and then we'll do the annoying but humorous one. All right, how's that sound? There's something annoying happened. You wouldn't believe it. I know, right? Something annoying happened in this country, in this timeline, and it's very annoying. It's the United States has done it again, and the baboon has done it again. For the first time in 70 years, the UN broke from the consensus for the global reaffirmation of women's rights. This is, I mean, the purely symbolic it's a ruling, it's a decree, a declaration. 37 nations in favor of this declaration, in favor, reaffirming women's rights around the globe, saying, this is what we believe in. Guess who voted against it? Yeah, that's right. The United States. We voted against the reaffirmation of women's rights because the proclamation included language that, and the words, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the declaration made mention of the effects of climate change on women, regulations for AI. It put in there that we have to regulate AI for the safety of women. and the security and the economic security of women and all of us, really. It also mentions gender in there, and you can't have that. And reproductive health rights. It mentions the importance of reproductive rights, health rights for women and girls. And the United States voted against it because, you know, we're that country now. So I don't want to hear the maggots talking about how they protect women and girls. You know, it's all, they love women. You know, they're supposedly they're so supportive of women's sports. Just today, I saw another Republican put out a video on Twitter. Like I'm saying, like you can't. I wasn't on Twitter for that long. I just went there for like half a minute, and I saw all this madness. That's what a shit show it is over there. And one of these Republicans was going on about how women, we protect boys, girls from having boys in the locker room. Well, that's fucking great, isn't it? Because I'm so glad you protect girls from boys being in the locker room. I didn't know that was a epidemic happening. Of course it's not, because Republicans, they're really good at protecting us from all the bullshit they make up. When it comes to protecting us from all of the damage of their policies, forget about it, because that's why they have to protect us from the bullshit, because their policies are really hurting us, and they need the distraction. So they don't worry about not having health care, not having a job, or whatever, paying more for everything, your food, your gas, everything. Look at it. We got no boys in the girls' locker room. Right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's all gone. Thank God. Thank God. We don't have any diversity and equity and inclusion. Who needs that? Who needs diversity in a nation of immigrants? Intersectionality. Ooh, big word. That'll really make liberals cry when you get rid of that. They frame, there was the word intersectionality in this decree, and they went off on it, saying it was like gender ideology or woke. That's a very woke thing to say, you know, because they're all about freedom. They're free speech absolutists. And except you can't say the word intersectionality, because that triggers them. And then they got to go off. They are very upset about that. They don't give a shit that who they shame, that they shame this country, that they disgrace this country. You see what I mean? The problem is that they have, here's the thing, okay? They hate this country, but the America as promised is just too decent for them. The promises of this country, the liberal age of enlightenment, the e pluribus unum part, the leave no one behind part of this country, of we're in this together, pledge your life, fortune, and sacred honor to each other, is too much for them. That's too woke. That's too decent. And they can't handle it. So they want to make this country as disgusting, as small, as backward, as hateful as they are. Talk about the world as your mirror, right? They hate this, you know, when they go around America and they see Americans investing in the future, investing in each other, doing things to try to bring people into the humanity, the circle of humanity. They hate that. That's too much for them. That's too much love and compassion and leaving no one behind. That's too much e pluribus unum. for God's sakes. So they can't take it. And they want to make America as gross as they are. So they're on their way, certainly. That's why the world can't stand us anymore. And with good reason. I can't stand us. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the frauds. I'm sick of the lies. I'm sick of them gaslighting, telling us everything's great when they make it suck. Yes, exactly. Max Roy on the chat. It's unfair for them. It's so unfair. Everything's so unfair to them, for them. Oh, it's this always whining about everything. When someone else gets, I don't know, we leave no one behind. We get somebody, let's pull you up. Let's help you, or, oh, that's so unfair to them. It's like, why don't you grow the fuck up? And the effects of climate change on women and girls were explicitly recognized in the draft. So they rejected that, even though we're living in the repercussions of not addressing climate change. And the Republicans are dragging us back to the 18th century. In the 19th century, well, they want to drag us back to when we were really choking on the industrial, of the smog of the Industrial Revolution. They want us to go there, where we're choking and polluted, where, the Cuyahoga River was on fire. That's what they want to go back to. Well, that's when America was great, when you could just throw your corporate poison into our environment, and no woke liberal bitch was there to do anything about it or say anything or cancel you. You could just throw your shit in the creek. Throw your poison. Who cares? Jesus will clean it up. And regulation of AI, especially the language about disinformation and online violence, this is what they objected to. What does that say? Well, I guess you're for disinformation and online violence. What else? What else is no? You wouldn't be in office without disinformation. And online violence is how you keep the disinformation going. And you keep the people stupid and in their place. Regulating artificial intelligence, they don't want to talk about that. And in the draft, it said regulating artificial intelligence in the ways that protect women's rights. Oh, fuck that. You can't do that because that's woke. That's DEI. Considering any other group that's not a straight, white, rich man is DEI. That's how disgusting these people are. So the definition of gender, they didn't like that, and broader inclusive gender language beyond just women and girls. Because they don't, it's gender is a construct. And if we discuss that in any way, that there's more, it's not just us saying that there are, gender is a construct. There are many kinds of peepees in the world, and there's gender fluidity. I mean, all these things exist. If we acknowledge the existence of others who are different, then we are going against their whole conservative project, which is keeping everyone in their rigid place. The world that conservatives want to inflict on us is a very horrible, ugly, divided, oppressive, unhappy world. It's as unhappy as they are, and they are unhappy. You tell me that Traitor Trump is happy? He doesn't know happiness. He will never know actual happiness or love, and he knows it. But he's a sociopath. So That's why he wants things, everything in that disgusting narcissistic pit. And it will never be enough, and he knows it. That's why he'll burn down the whole world. Oh, yeah. And, okay, yeah, sexual reproductive health and rights, including reproductive health and rights of women and girls, they said was in support of abortion. So, okay, yeah, well, sometimes women have to get abortions because, you know, it happens. There's a medical necessity to that. That's why Republican policies make so many abortions. They also kill women. And as I say on the show all the time, anyone truly pro-life would vote Democratic. So when Republicans say that they're anti-abortion, we should simply accompany that statement with a laugh track. They're not anti-abortion. Their policies create more abortions. Criminalizing abortion does not reduce the abortion rate. But, okay, it's all phony. They're all fakes. If they really wanted to reduce the abortion rate, they would support the education, health, you know, universal health care, living wages, everything, including retirement security. These are the policies that reduce the abortion rate. But, you see, they don't, it's all performance. It's all performance. So the vote broke precedents after the amendments failed, of course. The U.S. delegation refused to join the consensus and demanded a recorded vote instead of letting the text be adopted without objection. So they objected. We objected. The United States. Don't you feel proud? And the outcome document still passed comfortably, but without the United States as a signatory. We were the only country on record opposing what is widely considered just a reaffirmation of global commitments to women's rights. Yeah, I mean, it's not a law, it's not a bill, it's nothing. It's nothing binding. It's just saying we support women's rights. Who doesn't? Well, Republicans don't. This maladministration doesn't. They're more interested in inflicting their fascist ideology on us. These are like the mullahs in Iran. There's no difference. There really is not a hair's hair breadth of difference between what we're dealing with as far as religious, as just fanaticism. That's what they are. And it's negative. They're not doing it to make people happy or free. If they get their way, God forbid they get their way, we will be like Iran. That's what they want. What's the difference? We know them by their fruits. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to bring up tonight is this abomination. Where is it? Okay, this guy. Have you heard of him? His name is who's that? What's that from Fight Club? Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson, right? It was Robert Paulson. Right? No, his name is McNaughton. He's not as cool as Robert Paulson. Look at this asshole. So, this son of a bitch artist, so-called, they call him the MAGA Michelangelo. Look at this abortion that he created. It's called this disgusting piece of art, or so they say. Some people say, I guess, I don't know. It's art. This is the kind of art they want. You know, it reminds me of the Nazis. that had an office of degenerate art. They would deem what's worthy, what is considered art. Well, this is called The Forgotten Man. And it was created by this son of a bitch. What's his name? Hold on. Where the hell is it? I'm trying to find the guy's name. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. This guy is a white Christian nationalist. I know you'd be surprised to hear. Where the fuck is his name? Oh, there I go, cursing again. I know his last name is McNaughton, but all right. Well, he created this thing, McNaughton. It's called The Forgotten Man. And it was done when Obama was president, and it was supposed to commemorate the Obamacare. Not commemorate it in a good way. As you see in the portrait, it's the founding fathers, like the poor forgotten man on the bench, and there's Obama, and he's stepping on the Constitution, you see? And there are the founding fathers bending over, going, hey, buddy, you're stepping on the Constitution. What are you doing there? You brown-skinned emperor? What are you doing? And as you can see, there's some Democrats. There's George W. Bush. FDR is standing without, any aid of a crutch or anything, And there's all of the Republicans. There's Lincoln. They're like, oh, with their hands. What the hell? What are you doing there, buddy? Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Traitor Trump, the worst human being on the planet, is he's having this asshole, where the hell is it? I lost the page now. But he's having the guy put there he is. Put his face in the portrait. All right? He's having this dum-dum paint I guess he's painting out one of the spectators over here. And right there is where little Hitler is going to be. So the whole thing is so fucked up, right? The forgotten man and woman. So, because when we're thinking about the whole story of this painting as if the last 15 years never happened. We know what's happening. They're kicking people off Obamacare now, and people are having a shit fit over it. They're not happy that they're losing their Obamacare. And for those who don't know, Obamacare, we're all on Obamacare. This is what gets me crazy. This is why why the Democrats are horrible at messaging, and they should let me help them a little bit, I think. I will stop cursing when I do it. But if it's been 15 years since Obama signed the ACA, and the American people still think Obamacare is a healthcare plan that you can buy into, when everybody is on Obamacare, we're all on Obamacare. Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. It is legislation that regulates the for-profit health insurance racket. It's regulation that says they can't kick you off when you're sick anymore, that they have to cover health, preventative health. There is a certain, if they're going to sell insurance, that there has to be a certain, it has to look a certain way. It has to include preventative care. It has to include prescriptions. It has to include hospitalization. These things weren't mandated before Obamacare. So people would say, before Obamacare, because now the Republicans, this is how bad the Democrats are at messaging. The Republicans can actually say, oh, before Obamacare, my insurance premium was $200. It was so low. But guess what? Go to the hospital. Get diagnosed with a disease where you actually need health insurance, and then get back to me. This is why Obamacare was necessary, because people would get sick and they'd go to the hospital and be like, I have cancer. Well, too bad. Your policy doesn't cover cancer, and it doesn't cover hospitalization. And guess what? Too bad. Tough luck, Bobby. So that's why you were paying $200 or whatever. And besides that, they could kick you off when you're sick. And we know this for a fact. It was called rescission. As soon as you got a diagnosis that would cost them money, they would go through your application and find a way to kick you off your plan. This happened all the time. They had whole departments dedicated to it in the for-profit health insurance racket. So the fact that the tax cheating, draft dodging, wannabe dictator, con man, baboon is having this sucker, this white nationalist, Christian nationalist asshole, paint his stupid fascist face into this ugly, basic, kitsch-looking portrait. And maggots, this is why it's not art, in my estimate. It's not like you're looking at the portrait and you get to, that's what makes art good, right? Not that I'm an art major or historian, but you don't get hit over the head with the message. There's something going on, and you're like, wow, okay. If different people might see different things in something, and the way that this guy paints, there's one message that you receive, and it's Republicans are the patriots, and Democrats are horrible, stepping on the Constitution. The founding fathers in these distraught poses. It's stupid. It's juvenile. It's kitsch. It's fascist kitsch. And that's why they love it. Because magotry is for the low effort thinking mind. And I'm not just saying that. That is a study they have done on conservatives, that conservatives have larger amygdalas, of course. They have lower IQs. Okay, I know it sounds, just look it up. And that's why they're attracted to racial, this racism, because low IQ and racism go hand in hand. And hierarchy makes them feel comforted, because it's a scary, complex world out there. So that's why you need daddy. You need a daddy to save you from the scary, complex world of others who don't know their place. You know what I mean? And so this guy, he is like the house artist of the white Christian nationalist assholes, and he churns out these paintings. They love him. And Traitor Trump, I don't know why he wants to have his face put into this portrait about Obamacare as if it's still 2010 and the maggots, and we haven't had Obamacare in practice, right? What are you doing? We see when they're kicking millions off Obamacare, and Republicans are flipping out about it. They want their Obamacare. They want their pre-existing conditions protections. They want their subsidies. They want their protections. They don't want to get kicked off when they're sick. They don't, you know what I mean? So the problem with Democrats is that they have been so bad at messaging, and the fact that I even have to continue to message about it now is a testament to that, because everybody should know what Obamacare is. They should know that it's not insurance. You know, you could go on the exchange and you can buy private insurance now. Okay, and some companies don't go on there. But that's not Obamacare. You know what I mean? Because even the private companies that don't go on the exchange are still Obamacare because they have to abide by the law. Unfortunately, the Republicans have done everything in their evil little twisted hearts to make Obamacare not work. And the fact that the Republicans can message that, oh, Obamacare ruined health care. That this is what they're saying now. That, oh no, it wasn't the for-profit health insurance racket. It was Obamacare that made insurance so expensive. It wasn't, though. It was Marco Rubio who purposely did away with the risk corridors, and all the other Republicans who have been whittling away at every mechanism that made the ACA actually affordable. The Affordable Care Act had mechanisms in it where we're supposed to, you know, that's how you pay for insurance. Everybody in, nobody out. So we had a mandate. Republicans did away with that. Then there were the risk corridors where the government would pay the insurance racketeers to take the sick people. Marco Rubio did away with that. And then there are the subsidies, of course, that you get for, you know, if according to your, you know, of course, it's always this way in this fucked up country, according to, you know, means-tested subsidies. And the Republicans did away with that, too. So that's what we're fighting over now. But every other mechanism that makes it affordable, if you take that away, then it's going to be expensive, because that's how much these for-profit health insurance racketeers are not in it for health. They're in it for profit, and they don't get rich by paying claims. They don't get rich by supplying care. They get rich by denying care. And that's why we're the only country that has for-profit health insurance. It's your money or your life here. That's why it's not a market, and the whole world knows it, but us. So I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the fact that that I have to turn on corporate media and hear Republicans say things like, oh, and Trump says it all the time, Obamacare ruined health care in America. He says that. Of course, he's a liar. He's a filthy fascist liar. We know that. But if you don't correct it, if the corporate media doesn't come back to me in the studio or back to you in the studio and say, of course, the president was lying just there. He knows that it's not Obamacare that ruined health insurance or made it expensive. It's the for-profit health insurance racket that is expensive, because they're in business to make money, not cure your cancer. They're riding our miseries to the bank. And when the Republicans take away every mechanism that makes insurance affordable, of course it's going to fall on you to pay for it. And it's going to be expensive, because they don't give a shit. They want your money. You know, go die. Oh well, go die. Don't worry, you're dying for a good cause, which is make the rich richer, and that's the American way, right? And I don't get it. This is another example of the authoritarian in, you know, just putting his filthy face everywhere. That's what's so annoying about living in this timeline, besides everything else, is that everywhere we look, every minute of the day, we gotta check in with the baboon. What's the baboon thinking? What's the baboon doing? What is he, I mean, and let's stop pretending. I know we have, but we don't, pretending that he's got a plan, or he's got any kind of sincere thoughts besides, you know, food goes in here and here's where you put your bribes. All right, guys, that's pretty much the end of the show. Thank you for hanging out. We will win. We will win because we're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. Thank you, mods in the chat room, Susie and Christina and Jim and Redfoot, Elizabeth, and thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Sparklers. Thank you, Vanessa, for your super chat. Curse away, it relieves stress. I approve that message. Thank you. So, all right. That's it for tonight. Did that lady go? Did we find her? The one that hates me? I'm just kidding. All right, let me see. There was another story we had, but I don't have time really. I'm so tired. I gotta go to bed. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah. Josh on the chat says, I was trying to imagine Trump's thoughts, but I drew a blank. Yep, exactly. And I can't believe this shit. How they think that, you know, I mean, the same things. If this is why I can't stand them. If they were only consistent, I might actually not understand, but at least have some respect for them. But we know that if any Democrat had done anything close to what these people are doing, like with these paintings and Trump putting his face on a coin and putting his face everywhere in DC, when that is so un-American in itself, then they would be outraged. But it's okay if you're a Republican. Exactly. Valero on the chat. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering your name. On the Discord chat says he should put Trump's face over Obama's face in the painting. That would be more like it. Right? Yes, you're very welcome, Christina. Thank you for being a moderator. All right. Listen. Tuesday, I will see you on Tuesday. But in the meantime, come on over to Substack. I am for the most part, on Substack. That's pretty much where I stay and post most often. So, other than that, I don't really post on Twitter unless I'm arguing with a right-winger. And I'll post promos for the show on there, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. Guys, remember, I gotta go. I'm tired. I really do need to go lay down and put my feet up. See? Alright, my loves. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you had an enjoyable 2 hours on our Friday night get together. Why can't I talk? Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. Check out Charlie's stuff if you're in the mood for classic rock and oldies. APS Radio. Download the little app. It's just a player, and then there's classic rock and oldies all day. I download that. You know, you have it on in the background while you're doing your other stuff, and yeah, it's just, that's who Charlie is. He's connecting with the peoples. All right, my friend. And there's also APS Radio News, where there are other political voices on there, like Cindy Sheehan has a show on there, and myself. All right, my friends. So thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, mods. Thank you, sparklers. Let's keep it going, keep it growing. If you can, please subscribe to my Substack. I got to get those Substack numbers up to a respectable level. They're not bad, but they could be better. And yeah, once you get a very respectable bunch of people, not the quality of people, I mean the numbers. I know you're all high quality, very fine people, good people, very fine people on both sides. And but then maybe, I don't know, maybe we get some respect around here. Get bigger guests. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm very tired, really. I really am. I have been sitting in this chair for a long time, and my ass hurts. Thank you for being here with me. I don't know what I would do without you, really, because I would be very depressed, that's for sure. But I wouldn't be like John Fetterman, because there's no excuse for that. I actually called his office and left a message. Not that they hear it, I'm sure. And I said, go be a maggot. You know, and I explained to him what Trump derangement syndrome is. And said, you don't like it? Go be a maggot. Go get help. Something's up with you. You didn't run as a maggot, but if you are a maggot, then go be a maggot. But remember, Trump derangement syndrome is not us calling out the fascism. It's thinking that an unfit narcissist, rapist, pedo all over the Epstein files, convicted felon, is fit to lead. All right. So let's get together Tuesday, but in the meantime, I'll see you over on Substack. And yes, Andrea will be back on the show very soon. How do you like that? All right, my friends. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you very soon. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together, we win. Thank you for being here and for all your support. My name is Tara Devlin. Tell your friends, invite your friends, and I will see you very soon. I'll see you on Substack.